60. Bull Demon King stops fighting to attend a lavish feast. Pilgrim son baits for the second time the palm leaf fan. The local spirit said, King Powerful is, in fact, the Bull Demon King. So, this fire of the mountain was set by the Bull Demon King. Said Pilgrim. And it was erroneously named the Mountain of Flames, right? No, no. Replied the local spirit. But I dare not speak plainly unless the great sage is willing to pardon this humble deity. What offense is there? Said Pilgrim. Go ahead and tell us. The local spirit said. This fire originally was set by the great sage. Where could I have been at the time? Said Pilgrim, his anger growing. How could you babble like that? Am I an arsonist? You can't possibly recognize me now. Said the local spirit. There was no such mountain in this place originally. 500 years ago, when the great sage caused great disturbance in the celestial palace, you were caught by illustrious sagacity and taken in custody to Laozi. He placed you inside the brazier of 8 trigrams, and after the process of refinement, the reactionary vessel was opened. You jumped out, kicking over the elixir oven in the process, and a few bricks still on fire dropped down to this spot. They were transformed into the Mountain of Flames. I was then the Taoist worker attending the brazier in the Tushita Palace. Since Laozi blamed me for carelessness, I was banished to become the mountain's local spirit. No wonder you are dressed like this. Said 8 Rules, somewhat annoyed. You were actually a Taoist. Only half believing what he heard, Pilgrim said. Tell me further, why did you say that I had to fight King Powerful? King Powerful, said the local spirit, happens to be the husband of Rak Asi, but he left her some time ago and is currently residing at the cloud-touching Cave of the Horde Thunder Mountain. A fox king of 10,000 years used to be the cave master there, but he passed away, leaving behind a daughter by the name of Princess Jade Countenance, and a vast fortune with no one to care for it. 2 years ago, when she learned that the Bull Demon King had enormous magic powers, she was willing to give up all her wealth as dowry, and take him in as her consort. The Bull King thus abandoned Rak Asi and hasn't paid her a visit since. Only if the great sage succeeds in finding him can you acquire the real fan. If he is willing to lend it to you, you will be able to do 3 good deeds. 1. Enable your master to proceed on his journey. 2. Eliminate the blight of fire for the people of this region. And 3. Obtain a pardon for me so that I may return to Laozi in heaven. Where is this Horde Thunder Mountain? Asked Pilgrim. And how far away is it? Due south of here. Said the local spirit. About 3,000 miles. On hearing this, Pilgrim told 8 Rules and Sha Monk to protect their master with care, and he gave instruction as well to the local spirit to remain and keep them company. With a loud whoosh, he at once disappeared. In less than half an hour he came upon a tall mountain. He lowered his cloud and stood on the peak to look all around. It was indeed a fine mountain. Tall or not. Its top touches the blue sky. Deep or not. Its roots reach the yellow spring. Before the mountain the sun's warm. Behind the mountain the wind's cold. Before the mountain the sun's warm. Though the winter plants do not know of it. Behind the mountain the wind's cold. Ice, e'en in late summer, stays unmelted. The Dragon Lagoon joins a flowing brook. Flowers bloom early by the cliff's tiger lair. Water flows like countless strands of flying jade. And flowers bloom like bunches of brocade. Sinuous trees twist round the sinuous peak. Craggy pines grow beyond the craggy rocks. Truly we have the mountain that's tall, the cliff that's sheer, the stream that's deep, the flower that's fragrant, the fruit that's pretty, the wisteria that's red, the pine that's blue, the willow that's jade green. Their features in all climes remain the same. Their hues stay vibrant in 10,000 years. After he looked at this scenery for a long time, our great sage walked down from the pointed summit to search for the way. He did not, in truth, know quite where to turn when a lissom young woman emerged from a shady pine forest, her hand holding a twig of fragrant orchid. Hiding himself behind some boulders, the great sage stared at her. How did she look, you ask? A coy, empire-toppling beauty. In slow, sedate steps she walks, with a face like Wang Qiang's, with features like a girl of Chu. She seems like a flower able to speak. She resembles a fragrant figure of jade. Her jet-black hair bun smartly rises high. Her eyes, mascara-greened, shine like autumn's pools. Beneath her silk skirt tiny shoes half appear. From sleeves, just upturned, extend long, white wrists. How shall we speak of such seductive airs? Truly she has pearl-like teeth, ruddy lips, and moth brows soft and smooth like the river Jin. She surpasses even Wenjun and Shi Tao. Gradually, the girl drew near to the boulders. Bowing low to salute her, the great sage said slowly, "Lady Bodhisattva, where are you going?" As the girl did not notice him at first, she raised her head only when she heard his voice, and all at once she discovered how ugly the appearance of the great sage was. Terrified, she could neither retreat nor advance, and, trembling all over, she forced herself to reply. "Where have you come from? To whom are you addressing your question?" The great sage thought to himself, "If I mention the business of seeking scriptures, I fear that she may be related to the Bull King. I'd better say something like I am some sort of a relative who has come here to invite the Demon King to return home. Perhaps that may be acceptable." When the girl, however, saw that he did not reply, her color changed and she said with anger in her voice, "Who are you, and how dare you question me?" Bowing again and smiling, the great sage said, "I have come from the Jade Cloud Mountain. As this is my first visit to your noble region, I don't know my way. May I ask the Lady Bodhisattva whether this is the Horde Thunder Mountain?" "Yes," said the girl. "There is a cloud-touching cave," said the great sage. "Where is it located? Why do you want to find the cave?" asked the girl. The great sage said, "I have been sent here by the Princess Iron Fan of the Palm Leaf Cave at Jade Cloud Mountain to fetch the Bull Demon King." Enraged by this one statement, the girl grew red from ear to ear and began to scream. "That filthy slut! She's a real numbskull. It hasn't been 2 years since the Bull King arrived in my house, and during that time, he has sent back to her God knows how many pieces of jewels and precious stones, how many bolts of silk and satin. He provides her with firewood by the year, and with rice by the month, so that she can enjoy her life to her heart's content. Doesn't she know shame at all? Why does she want you to fetch him now?" When the great sage heard these words, he knew that the girl had to be the Princess Jade Countenance. Deliberately pulling out his golden hooped rod, he bellowed at her, "You bitch! You used your wealth to buy the Bull King. Indeed, you got your man by throwing money away. Aren't you ashamed? And you dare castigate someone else?" When that girl saw his savage appearance, she was so terrified that her spirit left her and her soul fled. Shaking all over, she turned and ran, while the great sage gave chase from behind, still shouting and hollering at her. After they went through the pine forest, the entrance of the cloud-touching cave immediately came into view. The girl dashed inside and slammed the door shut. Only then did the great sage put away his golden hooped rod and pause to glance about. Lovely place. Luxuriant forest. Precipitous cliffs. The broken shades of wisteria. The sweet, pure scent of orchids. A stream, gurgling jade, cuts through old bamboos. Canny rocks know how to sport fallen blooms. Mist enshrouds the distant hills. The sun and moon shine through cloud screens. Dragons chant and tigers roar. Cranes cry and orioles sing. A lovable spot of pure serenity, where jade flowers and grass are ever bright. No less divine than a Tiantai cave. It surpasses Yin Peng Ying of the seas. Let's not speak any more of Pilgrim enjoying the scenery. We tell you instead about the girl, who ran until she perspired heavily and her heart pounded. She dashed into the library, where the Bull Demon King was quietly studying some books on elixir. Full of anguish, the girl fell onto his lap and began to wail, pinching her ears and scratching her cheeks. The Bull King smiled broadly and tried to placate her, saying, "Pretty lady, don't be distressed. What's the matter? Wretched demon!" cried the girl, jumping up and down. "You've just about killed me. Why are you scolding me?" said the Bull King, laughing. "Because I lost my parents," said the girl. "I took you in so that I could have protection and care. You have the reputation in the world of being a hero, but you are actually a henpecked nitwit." On hearing this, the Bull King embraced her and said, "Pretty lady, where have I done wrong? Tell me slowly, and I'll apologize." "Just now," said the girl. "I was taking a leisurely stroll outside the cave beneath the flowers to pick my orchids. I was stunned by a hairy-faced monk with a thunder god beak, who suddenly barred my way and bowed to me. When I regained my composure and asked for his identity, he claimed that he was someone sent here by that Princess Iron Fan to fetch the Bull Demon King. I tried to tell him off, but he gave me a severe reprimand instead, and even chased me with a rod. If I hadn't run away so fast, I would have been struck to death by him. Isn't this calamity brought on by you? You're killing me." When the Bull King heard what she said, he apologized to her and treated her with great tenderness. Only after a long time was the girl pacified, but then the Demon King became annoyed and said,